Welcome back to Late Breakfast, everybody. for this week, obviously Happy New Year, and we want to talk about some of 2018's top rap albums. Like 2018 was a great year for hip hop, and I just want to talk about that. And what I want to do now is, obviously, as I usually do, introduce everybody. I'm Torian B.
I'm First Class Rage.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Danny.
Let them know. Danny. Eli P. ABCR.
Alright, and we're just going to talk about some of the best rap albums of the year. Obviously, like, other genres of music were great, but there were some great rap albums. And for me, I just want to see what you guys think. Like, who are some of, like, who had some highlight albums for you guys this year? Who we want to start?
Could we start off with Forgettable, maybe?
I guess we'll start off with Eli. No, I want to talk about the albums that were highlights. I don't want to talk about the forgettable albums yet.
Highlights, damn. Highlights, Daytona for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
That's undeniable. That was a masterpiece that came out this year. I wouldn't say Drake. Tiana, definitely. Tiana has...
It's not a rap album.
Still a dope ass album. I'm gonna still run with that one. 777. I'm going with 777 for a fact.
Oh, Key?
With Key and Kenny Beats,
Yeah.
absolutely. I can't wait to see what Key drops this coming year. What Kenny has to offer this coming year. But I don't know. What else you guys think? I have a couple of more, but go ahead.
I would. Okay. Go ahead, Danny.
One of the projects I think went under the radar, Sylvan LaCue had a dope ass project earlier at the beginning of the year. It might be considered somewhat borderline gospel, I guess, but it was a very interesting project.
I have to check that out.
I might be bugging. That might even be at the end of last year, but I'm pretty sure it was the beginning of this year. I think another project that went under the radar that people didn't catch was that Ishtar album. I think that was a very good project that went under the radar. I think this was a year that we're starting to see the ups and downs more of access to the internet, and there's just so much that it's hard for us to process everything.
Mm-hmm.
And but I think rap wise, my favorite album this year may still be J-Rock.
That's what you just took mine. That's what I was gonna say. But I guess so I can say J-Rock, I can say Victory Lap.
Victory Lap was great.
Nipsey's album. It was like at this point, a lot of people was checking for Nipsey. Like with what was the one that was $100? What was that one?
That was the album before this one.
Marathon.
No. It was called like, I feel like it was
not it was Marathon. It was Marathon.
Crenshaw. That's the one.
Okay. Yeah.
Crenshaw, the all red cover.
Yeah.
So people was fucking with Nipsey all this time, but like for me, it was just like something missing, and I feel like he got it right with Victory Lap. The production, where you making a face.
Like I said before, like I said in one of our past episodes, I feel like I know Nipsey could rap. I know he has great taste in beats, but I just feel like he's repetitive at this point. It's like if you've been following him since like the MySpace days, you're pretty much getting the same thing. Like it's really no different. Like he's been about like being progressive, being positive, doing something constructive with your time and your money and investing and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's been on that mission statement since the jump. So it's kind of like,
I agree.
I just think that this album was extremely well, I guess, promoted.
I agree with what you're saying, but that still can't take away from what this project is, because what this project is
and the production took it next level.
His introduction to a broader audience. So maybe there weren't people who were listening to Nipsey back then, but his message is so prominent right now that you have to appreciate where it is. And I think it's even better for him because it's going to allow, finally he hit this audience. Finally what he's been speaking about for so long is hitting, that he's going to be able to have more growth now because he finally got this message he's been trying to convey across.
I mean, well, I like, if there's one thing I can honestly say, I've checked out every single Nipsey Hussle project since MySpace. Like, my best friend Steven, he got hooked onto him, then he put me on, and it was kind of like, all right, let me follow this dude. So it's just like I've always kept up with the music, but it just never really connected to me because it's like it kind of gets repetitive. I still enjoy the rhymes, I still enjoy the albums, but I just want more. You know what I mean?
Well, I still think that Nipsey had one of the best albums of the year. Definitely Pusha. I feel like Cardi B had a moment, and like her album coming out and like breaking so many like records, 2 #1 singles. What was it? 4 on the top 10 or whatever like that. The album debuted at #1. She performed at Coachella. She had a baby. She got married. Like she has all these like she just had a big year overall. But her album coming out and it actually being good was huge.
And it's double platinum.
And it's double platinum now. J. Cole, I thought that his album was really good because now before I think we thought like what he was doing like with his hair and everything like that and like him being a recluse kind of like gimmicky, but like we're seeing like this is just him evolving. And like even him creating the character Kill Edward is really interested in me, and I believe Kill Edward has like a project like dropping soon, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, J Rock and Nipsey. I said Pusha T already. Astro World was like a huge highlight for me. I went to the Astro World tour, that was big.
Tierra Whack again.
Okay.
I was gonna mention Tierra Whack.
Tierra Whack was dope. And then you have like more recently like Meek dropped a project that I love and I think is really his best album. Like,
it is his best
like
album.
really like seriously like I'm so proud of Meek like because I'm gonna be honest like I'm one of those people that said it's a rap for me. I was wrong and I admit it and I have no problem saying it. I was like it's a rap for him. He can't do it. Like he fucked up. Like he jumped out the window. But I just think at that time the reason why so many people love Meek and like root for Meek is because of the things that they see what he could possibly be. And he's actually trying to live up to those expectations because he saw what he could lose and he sees how many people love and care about him. So his like the message that he's trying to drive home and the person that he's evolving to made the album much better because he was more like laser focused, right? And then this album was alright. So these albums weren't like the best albums of the year or whatever like that, right? But in June, Kanye dropped a string of albums, production wise, like. Obviously, Ye is probably hands down his worst album, but the production didn't suck. It just his subject matter was terrible. The subject matter sucked.
See, the production. You didn't have an issue with the production.
I have issue. I feel like a lot of it feels rushed. I feel a lot of it feels underproduced, and I feel like, and I really hate that he's continued this whole growing album thing. To me, that is just a sellout a cop out rather, because he couldn't meet the date he set. He set all these dates, he set this high standard, he thought he was slick because 2 of the albums were basically already ready, which was the Pusha and Tiana.
Tiana wasn't ready.
Well, she had a bunch of tracks and they just kept revisiting it.
And
I have a rebuttal.
And I don't like this living album thing. I feel like
in real time, the whole campaign.
It's not.
I that was like for Pablo.
But I don't like. Even then, it bothered me. But to continue it going, like I don't want to hear you working on this album now. I want to grow with this piece of music, this piece of art you're giving me, as the art it is. Don't keep editing it and changing what it is for me throughout time. No, let this be what it is for me when I enjoy it.
Okay, so my thing is that this is something that's going to be the norm in rap, especially with streaming, because rappers are able to do it. Just like how like 21 Savage just put out his new album and then he added the vocals to Travis Scott. If this was in the CD era, he would have to ship out a whole new string of albums. All he had to do was just correct it and add it on the iTunes, right? Yeah. So I personally think, like, I understand how it's frustrating because you're like, I want to grow with it, but sometimes like artists have deadlines and like they're like working, and they might want to update it later on. I don't think it's like being slick or anything like that. I think like at the time he submits it, he's like, all right, I like it. Then he's like, when he hears it back, he's like, nah, I don't like it. Or he might have heard it live, or he might have heard it when he performed or whatever like that and wanted to add something or add a verse. And I'm like, it's fine. Like, it's not the end of the world or anything like that. Because I felt like the album that he had with Cudi was better than Ye. But I'm just saying that month, he, like, production-wise that month, like, Kanye had like a month. Like, all right. The circus around it annoyed all of us. I'm not going to sit here and be a Kanye apologist and say, oh, he didn't do anything wrong. He fucked up big time this year. But what I'm just saying is like, to executive produce, even though all of them were 7 songs, you executive produce all these albums and they were actually like sounding. I'm not talking about like subject matter or whatever like that, but like they sounded good production-wise. The beats. I'm just talking about the beats alone. That's all. Daytona is a masterpiece, right? Tiana's album is 7 good songs, but they just don't flow together, right?
Yeah,
Kids See Ghosts.
Work This Pussy coming after that gospel song was crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? So, Kids See Ghosts. I actually like Kids See Ghosts. Nas's album, the production on it was great, and I love to hear Nas rap. I just didn't understand that. I didn't get the album.
Nah.
I didn't get it.
You could have kept that whole
Right.
thing, man. I
But,
didn't need that at all.
So that's just where I'm at. Oh, I'm sorry. I know I'm like changing, but like Vince Staples had a really good album.
Yes, absolutely.
Like excellent album. I
Yes.
really love
I
Vince.
can't wait
Staples'
to see
album.
what he drops next year.
FM was dope.
Yeah.
NBA YoungBoy has been on a run this year, dropping project after project.
I don't know
and
what
it's
it is. I
actually
can't get
I
into
can't
it.
get into that.
I
guy.
can't get
actually,
into it.
yeah, there you go. There's some shit I can really get into with it. Not all of it. I don't think he needed to drop as much as he did, but it's
He
been
dropped
really
like a
good.
good maybe 3-4 projects.
Speaking of consecutively dropping projects this year, that's been pretty good. You had Wale. You know,
Right.
he's dropped a few EPs this year that I've hit.
Why do you think people don't fuck with Wale? Like, what do you think? Like, because
I
he
thought
was in the pudding, right? And obviously, all right, he
I mean,
goes
he-
on rants
he-
and he talks his shit.
He
but what
puts
I'm just
himself in those positions.
has-
I
Joe
don't, but
Budden
no.
syndrome.
What I'm just saying is that like there are other artists that do dumb shit that Wale does. No, I'm never gonna say dumb shit. That speak their heart like how Wale does, like wears their heart on the sleeve with everything, right? But what is it about Wale that just makes things so hard for him? I don't get it.
I think the issue with Wale is just that like a lot of people are aware that he's a great MC, but the only thing is just that it's just something about his, I guess like his beat selection, the production that he decides to back up on is just something that always just doesn't quite connect. Cause maybe it's not even that. Maybe I'm just saying that he's such a well MC that maybe he has to dumb down what he's saying, because a lot of the shit that he says is like,
what's
Yeah, he's not like
he
yeah,
has
he like
moments
you're
where he
giving him way too much more
Wale's
credit.
problem is what Joe Budden's problem was, where he didn't want to. Part of it was he didn't want to play ball with the politics of the industry. Part of it is he knows how nice he really is, and from the jump, when you know you're that nice, for a lot of the artists, it's hard when people don't give you your respect off the back. Like if you know you that nice, and somebody's not telling you that nice, that's hard for you to hear. And the thing is, with artists of certain caliber, a lot of times they let the music speak for itself. They don't add the interviews, they don't add the side shit where I'm the best, you're not paying attention to me, all of that shit. And then, like when, for example, why I say it's Joe Budden syndrome, from when Joe was doing his thing, he was asking those questions and pointing it out, you know, and that's why people got tired of him. Stop talking outside of the music, let the music speak for itself.
Joe had a cult following though.
because I love that
Okay,
guy.
and Mudboy wasn't great, but
Shout-
Mobamba's crazy.
Shout out to
Mobamba's
possibly
crazy.
song of the
It's
year.
a New York anthem.
Yes.
And I feel like we're gonna get some interesting
It's
stuff
not,
from.
it's
from,
not just New York.
from
That
Check
shit's
West.
everywhere.
Yeah,
'Cause-
everywhere.
Yeah.
Shouts out,
But that's
shouts
a New
out,
York
'cause
anthem.
you know
I
how you
feel like
notice?
that's a New York
Shout out
anthem.
to Duce Palooza. When you see their videos, you really see them like all over the country. When that shit drops, it drops everywhere.
Yeah.
Nah,
Chef-
shout out
there's
to
no
this
denying
shit too, nigga. Everywhere we go, like every party you go to, you're gonna see that shit.
Oh no,
turn up.
yeah. You know,
The waves.
It's just-
So, anybody else before we sign off?
Well, we said 21. We said 21.
Okay, no, you want to talk about 21 real quick?
But you
Well,
don't
no,
think
I
he's
just
so late
I
in
was
the
just throwing
year?
them out there because, huh?
You don't think he's too late in the year?
It's late in the year,
I mean,
but I
it's
mean,
still in the year.
there
I mean,
is
it's
extra
still
At
in
least, right?
It's still a highlight.
Hold on, wait. I actually made a list for this. Little Skies had a good one.
Who?
Sir.
Those guys.
Sir, amazing.
Payroll Giovanni and Cardo
Yes.
had a great one.
You
this
really
year.
nah. Look, did you
Cardo
really fuck with that
got
roster?
wax?
Did you
What,
really
his
fuck with
nose
that?
Yeah.
With
The Payroll
Cardo?
and Cardo, yeah.
Yeah.
You talking about
Hell
which
yeah.
one you talking about?
The one where they're in the car on the cover.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Big
Big Boss and Two.
Absolutely. Big
And
Boss
what-
and Two
wait,
is fire.
Big
I feel
Boss
like
and
it
Two
slowed
is
down a
fire.
little
I'm
bit.
sorry, what the currency dropped this shit?
A mad shit.
Currency
Currency
dropped that
He
shit.
just dropped Weed and Instrumentals 3.
and Freddie Gibbs.
Fire in the air.
Yes, fire in the
Clouds.
air.
Fire
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
Clouds.
yeah.
Fire in the Clouds.
Tory Lanez dropped that was fire. He had his rapping on. Earth Gang had their shit that was fire.
Yes,
Nah.
Earth Gang.
No.
Takashi, you feel how you feel, but Takashi had a few bangers this year.
He had bangers.
Um,
Eli, you fucking hoe.
Kaz had a good project this year.
Yeah.
The Kendrick Lamar,
So-
the Kendrick Lamar Black Panther album this year was
Okay, that
fire.
compilation album.
Valley, the Lucci.
Okay, so on this, we're gonna sign off.
That's
I'm
it.
Torian B.
I'm First Class Reg.
V-less.
Eli motherfucking P.
All right, and we'll see you guys same bad time, same bad channel, boys and girls.